Please be seated. Mr. Shanklin, would you give our ethics statement, mission, and vision statement, board goals?
Yes, Mr. President. That's always such a tough act to follow. The board has adopted an ethics statement that affirms our commitment to ethical conduct. The statement is the Board of Trustees is committed to and shall perform its duties ethically and according to our strategic priorities. We will model the highest standards of conduct. We will ensure that no personal value system or personal goal interferes with our duty as public servants. The public interest shall be the principle which guides the board in its deliberations and decisions. We have a vision statement. The vision statement reads, all Aldine ISD students will receive a dynamic and unparalleled education that guarantees choices and opportunities today and in the future. Our mission statement, Aldine ISD will provide a rigorous and enriching educational experience that prepares every student for success in college, career, and life. Our board goals are aligned with the district's mission. The goals are, Goal 1, the percentage of grade 3 students who score at meets grade level or above on STAR reading shall increase from 30% to 40% by June 2025. Goal 2, the percentage of grade 3 students who score at meets grade level or above on STAR math shall increase from 39% to 49% by June 2025. Goal 3, the percentage of grade 8 students who score at meets grade level or above on STAR math shall increase from 49% to 65% by June 25. And Goal 4, the percentage of graduates who meet the criteria for college, career, and military readiness, also known as CCMR, shall increase from 59% to 69% by August 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Shanklin. We extend a warm welcome to everyone present and are pleased that you joined us tonight, as well as those viewers online, as we celebrate the achievements, review information, and make policy decisions related to the effective operations of Aldine School District. I would like to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight. Let the minutes reflect that all board members, with the exception of Mrs. Spaza, are present. She is excused. We have approval of the minutes of previous meetings. Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I move that the minutes of the regular meeting and executive session on October the 17th, 2023 be approved as printed.
I second the motion.
Thank you for the motion and a second. We'll begin the vote, Mr. Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Meade, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion passes. The chair recognizes Stan Osborne.
President Bates, Dr. Goffney, and members of the board. At last night's study session, our external auditors, Weaver and Tidwell, presented the district's audit report for the year 2022-2023 school year. At this time, I would like to proceed with my discussion of the audit.
Proceed.
Each board member has been given a copy of the audit report for the 2022-2023 school year and had an opportunity during last night's study session to ask questions of our external auditors. The audit report they presented was considered unmodified, or commonly referred to as clean opinion. The auditor stated it was the highest level of assurance to be given of financial statements. I would be glad to answer any questions the board may have about the audit at this time.
Board members, are there any questions? I see none. Proceed.
If there are no questions, I would like to recommend the audit be approved and forwarded to the Texas Education Agency as required by law.
Board members, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Bates, I move that we accept Mr. Osborne's recommendation that the audit be approved and forwarded to the Texas Education Agency.
Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you for the motion and a second. We begin to vote with Mr. Meade.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I also vote yes, that motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And again, for purposes of this evening, we want to thank you and your staff. We've done it so many times by having a perfect audit that you could take it for granted. But it's not normal for a lot of places. In fact, it's something a lot of places wish they could do. And so we certainly do appreciate you, Alexia, and she's on your right side tonight, so your right hand, and your entire staff for the hard work that you've done to bring us this clean audit. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll extend that to the entire team.
Thank you, sir. We have received information on 2 board candidates for the position representing school districts other than HISD on the Harris County Central Plaza District. Their information was provided to you for your review. At this time, we will start our discussion on which candidate we will support, Bruce Austin or Martina Lemon-Dixon. Is there any board member that has Mr. Shanklin?
Well, I am unfamiliar with Bruce Austin, and the information that I reviewed seemed to be incomplete.
Okay,
For Martina Lamont Dixon, she has a long tenure with HCAD, with the political process in Harris County, and I would offer my support of Martina Lamont Dixon.
is that a motion?
No, it isn't. We're in discussion right now. Any other person want to discuss?
Yes, Dr. Garcia.
I don't mind making the motion because I agree with Mr. Shanklin, unless there are others that would like to discuss.
No, I also agree, Ms. Dixon.
I see no further discussion. Is
Let
there
me
a
make the
motion?
motion then. I move that the board adopt a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Aldine Independent School District casting its ballot for the election of Martina Lamont Dixon to the Board of Directors of the Harris Central Appraisal District.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you for the motion and a second. We'll begin to vote with Mr. Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Mead, yes.
I also vote yes, that motion passes. We'll now hear from Ms. Shalia Reed, Chief of Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Bates. Board members, Dr. Goffney, we have a short presentation tonight. In fact, we do not have any recognitions of employees. I'm just going to recap a few things that have happened and give a preview for what's coming up. So I would like to thank and recognize the students from Kajawa Elementary School. Their teacher said, I don't think they need the mic. And in fact, they did not. And they were loud and proud, and they led us through the Pledge of Allegiance and the pledge to the Texas flag. Additionally, you may have noticed there were some bigger people leading the color guard, and that is the Aldine ISD Police Department's color guard, and they led us in the presentation of colors. So I know that some of them are outside, some of them are watching. Would you please give them a round of applause? We're just a few days away from the Turkey Day, and it is Thanksgiving season. And during this time, we want to give an extra thanks to those. Just pause and do it. And it's always easy to find a reason to be thankful in Aldine. And Goffney says it best. It's the people in Aldine that make it such a special place. And so I want to thank the people of Aldine for making sure their voices were known, and it was evident in the passing of the bond. And if you were watching, there were celebration points there. Again, thank you. And as Dr. Booker mentioned earlier, it is truly the voice of the people who have trusted us to do what we say we're going to do. From every community member's contribution, they've shared the message. They have come to our community meetings, passed the word on, and it was their voice and made it possible for these plans to come to fruition. So thank you to everyone who put in the time, energy, and heart to help us do it. And we will surely count on you again as we get the work started and continue going. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I also want to just pause. Earlier this month, we had a little bit of a festival. I say little because Adrian Bustillos isn't here, but truly it was a big, huge festival, and hundreds, maybe even thousands of families came out to learn more about the educational opportunities in Aldine that are available. We have over 30 choice programs in our schools, and we have something for every single student. The choice window is open, and so while we don't have a fair anymore, you can go to our website, stop at campuses, follow on social media to learn more about the programs that are happening at our campuses. And if you are interested, you can apply today. There are a few of us who cheated today and didn't participate in Generation Texan Week. And I'm one of those. I didn't do what I was supposed to do yesterday or today. But this week, we pause and celebrate a statewide movement to ensure our students have the information that they need about post-secondary opportunities, such as college, career, and military. And I do want to remind those that are watching, although here there's a schedule every single Monday in Aldine, we have paused and given our students, staff, employees an opportunity to really highlight college and career. And so teachers, even our superintendent, we wear college colors, whether it's orange and I think it's blue, maybe it's white for Sam Houston, purple and gold for Prairie View, black and black and gold for Grambling, or red and white for the Cougars at U of H. Y'all might want to get your folks some water.
Scarlet and gray.
Scarlet and gray for Texas Southern. I get it. Whatever school it is, whatever college it is, whatever career it is, on Mondays we do celebrate the CCMR work. But today, this week, we are celebrating across the district, and you can see that today is Tuesday, so people are wearing camo or animal print, and tomorrow is Switcheroo Day. I'm going to pay close attention. Students are dressed like teachers, and teachers will be dressed like students. That's going to be an interesting day. Make sure y'all follow on social media. I want all the pictures. But also, we did pause and celebrate Veterans Day, because what we know is that our veterans have given up their safety to serve, to make sure we are safe. And I do want to give a pause and a brief thanks, an opportunity to acknowledge any of those men and women who have served in the United States Armed Forces. If there are any veterans in this room, would you stand and allow us to celebrate you? Two of my favorite people, thank you for serving, and thank you for your service to the United States. And then on this Saturday morning, we're going to continue our thanks, and we have partnered with the Family and Community Engagement Department has partnered with Equality Health Foundation. I don't know if you remember this, but we've had a turkey drive almost every year for the last 4 years. Well, it started at Olson, they told me, as a little, we're going to hand out to this community. Then it moved on to Davis High School, Miss Avalos, where we had a drive-through. And this year they said, nope, we're going bigger and better. And so we're going to have a healthy fall festival. And so at the MOC, you don't have to stay in your car to get a turkey. You can get out and also learn about how to be healthy. So you'll get a turkey, but also there's an opportunity for our students and kids to kind of play in the grass. There's opportunities to learn about how to stay healthy, COVID shots, flu shots, things about cooking and learning. And Equality Health Foundation, which is not based in Aldine or Houston, they found us and said, we really want to support your community. And so we're going to give them an opportunity to do that. Now, it's our third annual, and this year we're handing out 1,000 free turkeys, okay? And so today I was having a conversation with my team. It starts at 8:30, but we have declared that there will probably be a line that starts about 6:30, and it'll go all the way back down JFK. And so just be careful if you're in that area, but know that the line, that the traffic is for a good cause. We're making sure our community not only has what they need for the Thanksgiving holiday, but also has healthy information to keep their families healthy. All right, we do not slow down, although it's a season of thanks. But I do want to just do a little quick here shout out to the MacArthur cross country team, and then I do want to pause. Oh, y'all want to clap for them? Go ahead. They dominated the District 14-6A meet, finishing at every level from freshman to varsity. The MAC boys team also, as you know, go and do what they do every single year, 15 years straight. The girls finished in first place, and then the Nimitz High School boys team finished in second place, and Eisenhower took third. So we did do everything we needed to do in that area. You could clap with him or her. And then basketball season is underway. But before we get to basketball season, I do wanted to acknowledge the Nimitz High School football team.
Yeah.
I think I started the season by saying they had some contention, and you know, this is under the direction of Coach Cornelius Harmon. They finished 8-3 in the season, and from what I understand, that's the best we've finished in a very long time. And we're not done. There's a young team, and they made it to the first round of playoffs and came home. And won't go to the second round, but that's all right. This is their third year straight, and they're going to represent us well. So thank you for that. I'll tell you, next month we are bringing the entire athletics team to celebrate them. So you'll get to see Harmon, you'll get to see Coach Kelly over at in MAC. You'll get to see all the coaches, and we'll acknowledge the coaches and the some of the team, the athletes, for the work that they've done this fall semester representing Aldine. They have one more thing for me to say, and it says, if y'all don't know, we are closed next week. And I am thankful for that little pause. But truly, we do need a pause to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. And while the district will be closed next week for Thanksgiving, I do hope that you spend the time with your family, your friends, or with your television, catching up on everything you need to catch up with. Until next time, on behalf of Aldine, we wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. Dr. Goffney, I have a recognition of staff that I would like to make. This morning, I visited one of our middle schools, and as I was walking around, I came upon a situation, and there was a 13-year-old that was having a crisis, and the principal and another man, both taller and wider than me, were holding him and restraining him, and they barely could restrain him. And his grandmother was outside, and I went and talked to her, and she was saying that he has a mental health thing. And so she had called the medical people to take him to a mental ward type place. And so an ambulance came to take him away, but they could not take him until more of our officers came. I thought I could communicate with the guy. That didn't happen. He said some things to me that it's been a minute since I've heard those things. And so the officers, chief, they came, and one of the officers started talking to this kid. And when I tried to talk to him, he would not look at me, but he verbally said some things. And this officer started talking to this young man. Next thing I know, I see the young man turn and look at the officer. Then the officer continued to talk to him, and then he asked him something, and he started responding. He says, "No, I need you to give me a verbal response." And so he gave him a verbal response. Then I watched the officer say, "You need to unclench your fists, because with your clenched fist, that's a hostile thing." And I'm watching this, and the guy opens up his hands. And so then he says, "I need you to get on this gurney. You can do it one or two ways, but I want you to make a big boy decision." And he said, "I need you to go get on this gurney, and we're going to put a safety belt on you." And I saw this man, this young man, 13-year-old, stopped. The other two people restraining him walked away, and then he walked to the gurney. And he sat in the gurney and allowed them to put the belts across him. In my life, I've never seen anybody de-escalate a situation like that. And I want to thank you. I want to thank the training that you and your staff do, because that could have went in another direction. And I just want to say thank you.
Amen.
We will now move to the consent agenda items and items for board actions tonight. The boarders had the board agenda items in their possession for study and discussed them at length in the study session last night. We appreciate feedback from our community, and as such, would like to hear from citizens regarding any agenda item to be voted on by the board at this time. Ms. Laera, did we receive any online written comments or forms from members of the public who are here?
No, sir, we did not.
Thank you. Do I have a motion regarding the consent agenda items?
I move that items D1A, F1, H1, H2, and M1 to M3 on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Garcia seconds.
Thank you for the motion and second. We'll begin to vote with Mr. Steve Meade.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I also vote yes, that motion passes. Do I hear a motion regarding executive session items?
I make the motion that the board approve items N3B, the proposed termination of term contract for Gerald Gross, teacher at Davis High School, render a finding that good cause exists to terminate his contract, and authorize the superintendent to issue notice of proposed termination as discussed in executive session.
Mr. President, I second that motion.
Thank you for the motion and second. We'll begin to vote with Mr. Paul Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Booker, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Mead, yes.
I also vote yes, and that motion passes. And I did forget, Chief, the name of the individual was Sergeant Amando, is Gustavo-Adame. That was the name of the officer. Dr. Goffin, do you have any new staff recommendations for this month?
Yes, sir. We are super excited to acknowledge and celebrate none other than Tracy Mansfield, from Director of Learning Recovery, Tutoring, and Student Initiatives to Executive Director of Math and Science. Ms. Mansfield is a graduate of Eisenhower Senior High School and has dedicated 29 years to the student, staff, and Aldine community. She is excited to join the teaching and learning team as the Executive Director of Mathematics and Science to lead the work to improve student outcomes in Aldine ISD. Dr. Ken Tu, our Chief Academic Officer, stated, "I'm thrilled to introduce Tracy Mansfield as our new Executive Director of Math and Science. She has honed her exemplary leadership skills and proven her ability to tackle challenging initiatives with great success. Her talent for driving positive outcomes, coupled with her knack for fostering collaboration among diverse teams, positions her as an invaluable asset to our district. We are excited to have Tracy at the helm of Math and Science, and we're confident that her expertise will lead to innovative practices, greater access to advanced math and science courses, and an increased integration of math, science, and technology in our Aldine classrooms. Please give it up and welcome to the team, Ms. Tracy Mansfield. Congratulations."
Thank you. President Bates, Dr. Goffney, Board of Trustees, and our Aldine community, thank you for recognizing me for my hard work and dedication to the Aldine ISD community. I'm excited to lead the math and science teams to support our campuses to improve student outcomes as the Executive Director for Mathematics and Science. I would like to thank the school's office, the ladies in the back, for their collaboration over the last year and a half as the director. It was a great honor to serve with these fierce women, and I want to continue that relationship as we move the district forward in math and science. Unfortunately, my family could not be here tonight, but I am blessed that Aldine is my second family.
So I'd like Dr. Lindsay Wise, the Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, to join me, as well as Christy Van Wassenhove, who is Executive Director of Literacy and Social Studies. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations, Ms. Tracy Mansfield. Mr. President, Board of Trustees, I'd like to take a moment of personal privilege as superintendent because this is the last board meeting for the Dr. LaTanya Emerson. She has served at Aldine for over 20 years, and she has loved Aldine, and the only thing that can steal her away is the love of her life. So thank you so much for your work. Thank you for your dedication, your commitment, and all the ways that you made a difference in Aldine. And I know you're going to keep shining, and we're super excited about your future, not only for professionally and earning your doctorate, but also taking a chance on love. Mr. President, Board of Trustees, that concludes my announcements tonight.
Thank you very much. Dr. Garcia, do we have any board committee reports and/or updates?
Yes, Mr. President, we have the following at this time. Approval of the revision to Board Policy DEC Local, effective immediately, to waive the second reading. So I move that the board approve Board Policy DEC Local to be effective immediately.
And I second that, Mr. Bates.
Thank you for the motion and a second. We'll begin the vote with Mr. Steve Meade.
Mead, yes?
Garcia, yes.
Booker, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I also vote yes, and that motion passes. The framework for school board development outlines the vision, structure, accountability, advocacy, and unity needed to provide local educational programs and services that will promote excellence in student academic achievement. Initially adopted by the State Board of Education in January 1996, the framework was updated in November 2020. The State Board of Education approved a revised framework. Board members and Dr. Goffney, a copy of the framework for school board development has been provided to you. We will now begin an open forum. This is the portion of the meeting where the board receives input from members of the public. Ms. Laera, did we receive any online written comments? Yes, sir, we did. Would you please proceed?
This is from Mr. Travis Scepter, and states, I would like to thank the board for rescinding the eminent domain action against my dad, Travis Scepter. My last request, in the interest of transparency and upholding the duties of accountability of board members to the community, do not sideline important conversations by board members to be handled offline. That is how situations like my family's can be addressed before the eyes of the entire community and state are focused on Aldine ISD or negatively. It takes time to get answers, and that's the only way to solve it. Offline discussions are bad for the school district and community.
Thank you. Also, do we have any received forms from members of the public who are present? And these are the two that you've given me. For each person present in the boardroom who wishes to address the board, you'll have 3 minutes to speak. There's a timer at the podium and on the wall that will indicate when your 3 minutes are up. When necessary for effective meeting management or to accommodate large numbers of individuals wishing to address the board, presiding officer may make adjustments to public comment procedures, including adjusting the time allotted to each speaker. Because of the topic posting requirements of the Open Meeting Act, board members are not permitted to answer any questions posed to the board by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented at this time. If you wish to ask questions of the board, you may submit them in writing, addressed to the superintendent's office, and the board may consider them at a subsequent meeting. If you are an employee or employee's representative, please be advised that the grievance policy deadlines are not waived. If you have documents to pass out to the board, please identify those documents. Finally, please be aware that rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment section. Please refrain from making comments directed at specific individual employees or students by name to avoid any potential breach of confidentiality. If you have complaints regarding specific individuals, please provide those in writing addressed to the superintendent for her attention. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. Mrs. Robineau, please proceed.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me? Okay, good evening. My name is Shamli Babineau. I am a teacher in Aldine ISD. For the past year, I've spoken to many different teachers from across the district that are passionate about teaching. We really appreciate the raises and the bonuses that the board has given us this school year. Many teachers needed the raise and gave us a lot to look forward to, since most of us are paycheck to paycheck, and many have already pre-planned their bonus checks to get out of debt from the pandemic or to establish some kind of savings. Teachers spend most of their money not just on themselves, but in their classrooms, on campuses, when parents and campuses don't have supplies for their children. So I wanted to personally thank each and every one of you for blessing us. I regret to inform you that many teachers across the district do not feel appreciated or respected. Some teachers have openly shared their experience, as well as what they've witnessed other colleagues endure that has caused unsettling environments to work in. Some teachers have been cursed out to be humiliated on camera for likes and shares. Some have harassed by students who've been encouraged by colleagues on campuses, and this includes hiding data on how many teachers have been physically attacked and bullied on campus by students as well as parents. Teachers have openly warned others not to voice their concerns to administration due to the history of intimidation, attacks, and other vile harassment that diminishes morale. Most of the teachers are in survival mode due to economic changes and have lost their zeal for teaching because they feel invisible where they work. A good number of teachers have expressed how they were targeted on campus and have been overlooked for employment opportunities within Aldine District after they found the courage to speak up. Some have adapted to the extreme environments by disassociating, and some have even clicked up with certain personnel to advance professionally. Contributions to the success rate of teachers are now being used as a game of chance against those who are highly favored in the district with nepotism. The punishment continues to weigh in on the minds and the emotions of teachers who are in fear because they feel that they are being set up for termination, and there has not been any recourse for the vile actions. Many grievances have gone ignored, and federal rights have been violated. The feeling of being appreciated is much more than a teacher than getting money, although we appreciate it, but we really want to be appreciated. And it also means that teachers produce measurable results of success, and they can turnkey this valuable experience within the organization. Now, some school leaders are being looked at as oppressors, and some students are looked at as tormentors, and teachers are now last in place with the long-term effects of mental and emotional duress. Giving everyone a voice without retaliation, to be honest, and without being ostracized about the hard truths that we face every day is needed to rebuild the trust, to create a lasting and a positive impact for all stakeholders. And teachers want to be used, they don't want to be abused. You've listened to teachers and you've made the decision to bless us and give us a raise. So please look into your employee relations and change how teachers are being treated on a daily basis on our campuses. Please. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Houston.
Good evening, President Bates, Dr. Goffney, distinguished members on the board. Last night, the external auditor came and provided a high rating of the financial audit. I do commend the district for their financial audit and the high praises that we always get. However, I must give the district a D on the implementation and the phase-in of the front line. That is something that the audit cannot show. There has been many issues with the transition and implementation of this frontline system where employees didn't get pay on time, and even myself with Aldine EFT didn't get checks for months because of the implementation of this new system. I wish it would have been done in phases and in a slow process, but what is done is done. I hope that in the future that the district looks at the way they phase in and implement new systems. Now I'm going to go off the record as the president of Aldine ISD, and I'm going to talk as a private citizen. I'm excited that the bond passed. As a taxpayer, that bond was needed. I truly hope this district is going to be fully transparent in the implementation of this bond, because in the past, the bond has not been very transparent. Where some schools were supposed to get some items, they did not get it. Therefore, we're back in the same place. I'm excited about the 1.8 billion. You guys have the opportunity to do what is right. Let's be fully transparent and get community feedback and input and involvement in this implementation process. Lastly, I want to congratulate Mr. Bates, Dr. Booker, Mr. Shanklin, and Dr. Garcia on your wins. I would like to encourage every board member to continue to work to be a unified board. Mady Stepanek said it best: unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, things can be achieved. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I hear a motion by Mr. Shanklin.
I second.
I see a second by Dr. Booker. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We are now adjourned at 7:38 p.m.